Hello, Doctor Who fans, and welcome to the Who Universe. As this week we're going to be continuing our Cybermen month of reviews with the Sylvester McCoy's Cybermen story, and it was also the last story that the original classic series Cybermen were used in Doctor Who, which is Silver Nemesis. This was the last time the classic style Cybermen were featured in Doctor Who. And obviously, we haven't seen these versions of the Cybermen ever since Modern Who, obviously. But obviously, this story... so obviously, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the story here. So obviously, the Doctor and Ace return to England in 1988, where they find three rival factions. The Cybermen, a group of Neros, Nancy's, and a 17th century scoress called Lady Pinaford, who is obviously, they're all after this living metal that has been created by Rassilon, who is the defender of Gallifrey, of course, one of the Doctor's enemy, Time Lord enemies from his home planet. Obviously, the statue has three components. They have a bow, an arrow, and the figure itself. They must be brought together in order for it to be activated. They've been separate, and however, though, the most interesting thing here is the fact that they've been separated since 1638, when, in order to foil the first attempt by Pennyford to seize it, but obviously, with the Doctor launching the figure into orbit in a powered asteroid, the asteroid would be approaching Earth at 25 yearly intervals ever since. So obviously it was up to the Doctor to wait for the asteroid to land so they could get the piece, so then they can crash. So it would crash land. Obviously it would end up crash landing in Windsor Castle, which is a famous location that many people go to every year to visit, like the old castles and stuff. And obviously, throughout the story, we would see the Doctor play the three factions off against one another, and eventually appears to be coordinated, which would lead to defeating the Cyber Leader, because he also realized the Cybermen are involved. So he decided to go after the Cyber Leader to prevent the Cyber Leader from getting his control on the device. They also put a carefully laid trap in front of the Cybermen to totally wipe out, to put the Cybermen feet to be totally wiped out by the statue, because they know that if they use the statue as a weapon, the Cybermen would all die. So they obviously did such a good job to basically destroy the Cybermen and the Cyber Fleet. So therefore, every Cybermen were defeated because of the statue. And even though it was like I said, it was a very decent attempt to celebrate the Cybermen, and also this story, in fact, actually aired. The first part of Silver Nemesis actually aired on the 25th birthday of Doctor Who, the 25th anniversary day of Doctor Who, which is the 23rd of November 1988. So this was actually the first part of this story went out on the 25th birthday, the 25th anniversary day of Doctor Who, which is, this was a big deal for them to get right, because they know that this was the silver anniversary for Doctor Who at the time, and it's a big deal. Trust me, it was a big deal for Doctor Who to get the fans excited for the fact that they're about to celebrate a big occasion for Doctor Who, and this was the opportunity for them to celebrate that silver anniversary by bringing back the Cybermen for the silver anniversary of Doctor Who and to give them their last classic series run in Doctor Who, of course. So, yeah, this was, like I said, it was a very good, very decent story for the silver anniversary. However, though, they were told they were basically refused permission to film in Windsor Castle at the time, so therefore they had to film in a different castle due to the fact that their permission was not granted. But actually, what was really interesting is that one of the scenes where the Doctor and Ace went to the gasworks, that would later on become the O2 Arena. That's right, the O2 Arena to celebrate the millennium. Yes, that particular area they were filming at would become the O2 Arena that we all know and love today. So it's kind of interesting that they were filming there just years before they ever thought about doing an O2 Arena or a Millennium Dome in that spot several years later, which is really crazy. But either way, this was definitely a really worthy opportunity to. Like I said, this was a really worthy opportunity to pay homage to the Doctor Who's past. Also, Nicholas Courtney, Brigadier, made a cameo appearance in the story, as well as Elizabeth, the second lookalike, was also involved in the story, which was quite unique. So, like I said, it was a very it was definitely a decent silver anniversary story to pay homage to Doctor Who's big silver anniversary. I mean, Doctor Who's obviously had many different celebrations, and this was one of them, of course. And I want to know from you guys whether did you guys enjoy the Silver Nemesis, the final time these classic Cybermen were featured in Doctor Who? Would you like to see these Cybermen return in the future? Let me know in the comment section if you think that Chris Chibnall should bring these Cybermen back for Jodie Whittaker's era of Doctor Who. Perhaps this would be a good, maybe this may be a good opportunity for him to bring back the old Cybermen from the past, like bring back some Cybermen from the 80s, perhaps to answer the question of where have they been since the 80s. It should be really interesting to see if they ever bring them back. But with that said, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys did you guys enjoy the story and stuff? And make sure to tune in next week, because next week we are going to review the final Cybermen story, which is in fact a Christmas episode from 2008, the year that David Tennant decided to call it a day as Doctor Who. That was the year that David Tennant announced that he was leaving Doctor Who the following year, and it would bring up the speculation whether David Morrisley would be the guy to play Doctor Who or not. As we'll revisit this Christmas Cybermen story from Christmas Day 2008, when David Tennant went to Victorian times for a Christmas episode for Doctor Who. So, hope you guys enjoy this review, and also tune in because we're actually getting close to the Christmas month for the Who universe, which obviously means one thing. It means we're getting closer to this year's Doctor Who Christmas special, and we're going to finally get to relive some Christmas specials from modern Who from the past few years, as we get to revisit some of the classic Christmas episodes that we've enjoyed from David Tennant and Matt Smith's Doctors, and even Capaldi's previous Christmas specials as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all in next week's review as we relive David Tennant's 2008 Christmas episode, The Next Doctor.